Sit back and throw one back with your pinky in the air and a middle finger to the world, and join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in pro wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get our wrestling history on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is October 24th, and we're going to start off as we always do on a positive note. That's right. These are your pro wrestling birthdays. 1934, Sweet Sapphire. 1943, one of the men who is most synonymous with Memphis wrestling, Bill Dundee. And we're going to keep that positivity train a-rolling. That's right, these are your pro wrestling history highlights for October 24th. A short trip in the Wayback Machine today as we groove into 1967, where we see Paul DeMarco and Lorenzo Parente defeat Kurt and Skull von Stroheimer to win the Florida version of the NWA World Tag Team titles in Tampa, Florida. Grabbing my best pair of bell-bottoms and disco ducking to 1970, Moondog Mayne defeats Mr. Fuji to win his 11th NWA Pacific Northwest heavyweight title. Moving ahead 4 years to 1974, Nick Bockwinkel and Ray Stevens defeat Crusher and Billy Robinson in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada to win the AWA World Tag Team titles for a third and final time. Moving to 1976, Alfonso Dante wins his second NWA World Light Heavyweight title, defeating Carlos Paletta. Making two stops in 1979, first, Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood win the Mid-Atlantic version of the NWA World Tag Team titles in Raleigh, North Carolina, ending the second reign of Paul Jones and Baron von Raschke. Our second stop in 1979, Bobby Eaton wins his second NWA Mid-American Heavyweight title, ending the fifth reign of Dutch Mantel in Nashville, Tennessee. Grabbing my boombox and going to 1980, Tiger Jet Singh scores the biggest win of his career, defeating Antonio Inoki for the UWA World Heavyweight title. Sticking in 1980, Tony Atlas defeats Dennis Condrey to win the NWA Georgia Heavyweight title in Atlanta, Georgia. That next year in 1981, Mr. Electricity Steve Regal defeats Playboy Buddy Rose for the NWA Pacific Northwest Heavyweight title, ending Rose's seventh reign and beginning his second. Bumping ahead to 1982, Jumbo Teruzza defeats Harley Race to win the NWA United National Heavyweight title for a fifth time. 1983 sees Jimmy Garvin defeat Chris Adams for the World Class Television title in Fort Worth, Texas. Grabbing my flannel and going to the decade of grunge, 1993. WCW held their Halloween Havoc pay-per-view in New Orleans, Louisiana at the Lakefront Arena, with a main event of Vader defeating Cactus Jack in a Texas death match. This was a spin the wheel, make the deal match, where Cactus spun a wheel with various stipulations to determine what type of match it would be. The finish saw Cactus Jack hit Vader with a DDT after losing a fall, but manager Harley Race zapped Cactus with a taser. When the rest period after the fall ended, Cactus couldn't answer the 10 count, and Vader was declared the winner. That next year in 1994, the Moondogs Spot and Rex defeat the Phantoms for the USWA Tag Team titles in Memphis, Tennessee, starting their second reign. Making two stops in 1998, first, a card held in Cherry Hill, New Jersey sees three championships decided. First, Doug Gilbert wins the NWA National Heavyweight title from Stevie Richards, starting his second reign. Christopher Daniels and Kevin Quinn defeat Danny Domino and Ace Steel to become the first NWA Midwest Tag Team Champions. And Easy Rider defeats Paul Atlas to win the revived NWA Canadian Heavyweight title. Our second stop in 1998, the Dudley Boys defeat Rob Van Dam and Sabu in Cleveland, Ohio to win their fourth ECW World Tag Team titles. And last but not least, 1999, WCW held their Halloween Havoc pay-per-view at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. The main event sees Bill Goldberg defeat Sting in 3 minutes to win the WCW World Heavyweight title in an impromptu match with a spear and a jackhammer. The next night, the title was held up due to the match being an unsanctioned match and due to Sting hitting the referee during the bout. Those were your short but sweet pro wrestling history highlights for October 24th. I'm the Eclectic Gentleman, Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.